Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Point of No Return, the Babylon 5 Retrospective, Season 3. This week on the show, we're looking at Episode 7, Exogenesis. But before we start, I have to welcome my co-host, the man who is not a bug-looking parasite who hangs on everyone's back. It's Cam. Say hello, Cam.
Good evening, Babylon 5 fans.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. All right. Should we just bring in the panel right off the bat, or should we do some administrative stuff first?
Well, I think it is important to note that you have finally reached your end point, your final goal of 700 subscribers.
All right, okay, let's.
Hooray.
Yay! Hooray! Hey, wait, what happened? The thing went off. All right, here we go. Let's put it back. Okay, thanks everyone. Congratulations. I mean, to all of us. I mean, we all did it. We reached our goal of 700. Now our count is 700. We just got to get to 800 now.
Yeah.
100 to go to get to our next goal. Right on.
Thank God we're out of that 600 hellhole.
Yeah. Thank goodness. We passed the number of the beast. All right. Yeah. So now we just got to get to 800 now. Go 800. All right. I'm gonna bring in Jeff right away here because I'm sure he wants to thank me too. Right, Jeff? Congratulate me.
Yeah.
No,
Hello.
He's not saying anything. Oh, there he is. Okay.
What do you mean? I'm not saying anything.
Oh, you did.
Congratulations. I got confetti in my face.
That's right. Right. Now, yay. Okay, let's turn that on. Right. Excellent. Good. All right. Good job. I think, you know what? I think we should just have, we had we got 8 people watching so far, and that's good. We appreciate everybody. But last week we had 115 total on all 3 channels. I think we just have Peter on every show.
Yeah.
And that way we'll get ton, the sub count will go up. We'll get all these people watching. We'll just have them on all the time, right?
Yeah.
A couple months we can all just sit here and
sure
stare at
you'd
each
love
other.
that.
I don't have any more questions for you. What are you gonna? Just sit here for 2 hours. We'll just look. Yeah, we hope everyone enjoyed it was pretty exciting last week. Pretty big show. Hope everyone enjoyed it. Yeah, thanks, Dave. I'm glad you enjoyed the interview. We would like to set up some more of them.
I wanted to talk to him about his appearance on MASH, which, unfortunately we didn't get a chance. But hey, maybe next time.
Yeah. Maybe next time. Yeah. All right. Yeah, it would be nice. Okay. Is there anything else you guys want to mention?
Let's see. Hey, my channel's getting up there. We might have.
Hey, there's an idea
on there.
Try a Peter Jurassic impersonation show. Yes, we'll all pretend to be Peter, and that'll be 3-4 of us pretending. That'll be 3-4 times the people who show up, right?
I think we could pretend to be Londo, maybe.
Yeah.
We know at least one person that could.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me before we get started, let's just say super chats, super stickers, super thanks. All that stuff is open. We have memberships. Thanks to all our new members.
I see the button's back.
We're thanking them all at the end of the show. I'm putting a little thing in for them. We've got 2 members, and we're going to start doing things with for membership members, exclusive stuff like Cam will sing you a song, maybe do a little dance.
Is he gonna leave messages on people's telephones and stuff for hey, this is Cam from Sci-Fi Snob.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that'll bring in the bucks.
Say happy birthday,
happy
personal message.
Birthday.
I want to wish you a happy birthday. We'll figure it out. And you know what? We want to hear from you what you think. Cam should do for those exclusive things. So maybe let us know if you have any ideas. I bet Snuggy Jr. I bet Snuggy Jr. has got a lot of great ideas. What Cam should do. Yeah. All right. Okay, let's get into the show, gentlemen. Get started right away. Oh, I'm gonna wear a thong for $1,000. Oh yeah, that'll work. I don't think no one's Anna here. Anyway, let's get into the show.
Anna made 1,500, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then she put it on for 1,000, and then, I don't know, more.
What?
Something is the greatest possible, Snuggie Jr. suggests. So, okay.
Put him in a teddy.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Okay, let's get into the show. Oh, wow. Okay, we got to do trivia.
Yes.
Trivia from last
It's almost as if you don't remember how to do this show.
I missed the trivia. Yeah, I got this card right here. It tells me what to do, but I just get distracted and I don't follow.
He writes it down, folks, and can't remember.
That's right. It's right there on the card. You can see the card. It's like, yeah. Anyway, all right. Let's do the trivia. Trivia from
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, from Dust. It seems like forever because we've been so busy with doing stuff. All right, from Dust to Dust. Which station officer intervenes on behalf of the shopkeeper? Who activates the defense grid to kill Bester? Who is responsible for the creation of Dust? How long is Jakar sentenced to serve in jail? And how did Londo get the job of ambassador to Babylon 5? Let's flip this over to here. And let's go to the answers, of course. Yep. Sheridan intervenes on behalf of the shopkeeper right at the beginning. Ivanova wants to kill Bester with a mistaken shoot from... and that's right. Sheridan stops her. Dust is the creation of the Psy-Core. Yeah, they use it to try to find new.
Found that at the end.
And Jakar beats the crap out of Londo, leaves him bloody on the ground, half dead, and he gets 60 days in jail. I guess they use the old, well, he did destroy your homeworld clause or something like that. And Londo got the job of ambassador to Babylon 5 because nobody else wanted it, basically. Yeah, nobody wanted it.
There, now I look like the rest of you.
Yeah.
Except I'm not a cartoon. I'm real.
All right. There we go. Okay. Shall we get right into the episode?
Oh, let me grab my cheat sheet here.
All right.
And
we'll just wait for you. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. No need to be ready.
Look, I have a fragile. I think it's Italian.
You bet. I think that's fragile.
Maybe it's French.
Okay.
Fragile.
Cam, you want to go ahead with the beginning of the
yes, sir, certainly. Okay, episode 7C3, episode 51 overall, Exogenesis, written by J. Michael Straczynski. Original air date February 12th, 1996, and 306 in the production order, so right in line with air date or air order. Franklin and Marcus investigate an outbreak of parasitic aliens in Down Below. Ivanova is tasked with determining whether Lieutenant Corwin is suitable for the Conspiracy of Light.
All right. Let's bring in our one of our guest panelists, Madman. Good evening.
Good evening.
All right.
We'll say $1,000. Right,
here we go.
Man.
Oh, please. Let's not. All right. Let's go. I'm going to give the more detailed. I'm going to try to go through it as quick as I can so we can get on with the show. Okay, so the show starts off. There's an arrival of a shuttle, and some people we don't know are watching it. We go to Corwin is being promoted in a bar, typical military type promotion. Sheridan, Ivanova, Garibaldi, and Franklin are all hanging out at a table. And somebody asks, hey, isn't Marcus supposed to be here? How come he didn't come? Ivanova says she didn't invite him. Maybe we should keep him away because, this conspiracy thing, we don't want to make it too obvious. And Sheridan agrees. But Garibaldi's kind of like, should invite him. Then we cut to a guy screaming, and this ugly-looking thing dissolves into his back. And that's exciting. Then we get the intro of the show, of course. So there's sort of two things going on. There's the whole episode with the bug and the story about that. And then, of course, figuring out Corwin, if he's going to be, we're going to let him into the conspiracy or not. So I'm going to go over the Corwin stuff real quick. It's much shorter. Sheridan pulls Ivanova away right at the beginning of the episode and says, hey, talk to Corwin, feel him out, see if we should, he's going to be around a lot. He might find out something about the conspiracy now. Maybe feel him out, see if we could trust him and bring him into the conspiracy or not. She talks to him and says, hey, I want to talk to you about your career and stuff. He goes, hey, should we go to the mess hall? Maybe for breakfast or something. He goes, nah, too loud. Why don't you come to my quarters for some coffee? And Corwin's like, okay. He kind of thinks she's hitting on him. Right before they go to coffee, he gets some flowers, some roses, goes up to his quarters with the roses, gives them to her, but says, I found them on the ground. When she goes, oh, what the hell are those for? It's obviously not a date. Ivanov sort of feels him out about bending the rules. Of course, he says, no, of course I'm not going to bend the rules. And he asks her, do you want me to report anybody? Is something going on? And she's like, no, it's fine. Basically kicks him out of his, doesn't even get to finish his coffee. Kicks him out. And then later, when sort of Sheridan gives him her a look about Corwin, she shakes her head no. He is not in. All right, go to the bug. We right after the introduction, we go to the screaming guy. He apparently dies. The others take off and they leave the body. Meanwhile, we cut to Marcus, and he is making his rounds with his contacts. He meets this old guy, Duncan, who is, it's got a small stall somewhere on the station. And it looks like they interact a little bit. It's obvious that he talks to him every once in a while, or maybe every day. He's kind of a friendly with him. Meanwhile, Franklin gets asked to help with the autopsy on the body that the security has found of the dead guy with the alien parasite-looking thing into him. Meanwhile, Marcus meets more of his contacts in a bar. One guy who's apparently a regular doesn't show up, Samuel, and he kind of asks about that. But we also hear some hints of possibly of what might be in future episodes, something about sending a guy to see a shadow sighting, problems on Earth, something about a package coming in a week, but maybe we'll see more of those in the future. Anyway, Franklin performs his examination. He finds an anomaly on the spine. He does an autopsy and finds some sort of ugly-looking parasite in there, which kind of goes, what the heck is this? Didn't know what it is. Meanwhile, Marcus finds Samuel, and Samuel acts kind of weird and distant, kind of like maybe he's having some sort of out-of-body experience, or he's not quite himself, or something like that. Meanwhile, Duncan wants to. Marcus goes back to meet Duncan, and he's not in his stall the next day. He's there every day. Marcus is a little bit, wondering what's going on. People are acting strangely, Samuel and now Marcus. He goes to Garibaldi, tries to get some help from him. Garibaldi basically refuses and says, hey, unless it's a crime, I'm not worried about it. So Marcus goes to Franklin and basically lies to him, tells him that Garibaldi says, maybe you should help me with this. They go to Duncan's quarters. There's some weird film on the wall in a hole or something. They go through, and there's a guy on the floor with his back pulsating. And, of course, the bad guys come out and capture them with, pistols and say, hey, ho, we got you. Next scene, the Franklin and Marcus are in some sort of improvised jail, and they're discussing what are these things. Franklin figures that some sort of parasite, it might control their minds somehow, but they discuss, well, how come they've been just taking these people in down below and not, important people like the captain or, Ivanova or any one of those other people. Meanwhile, in the discussion, Franklin discovers that Marcus lied. Nobody knows where they are. Garibaldi is not going to come and save them. Meanwhile, Duncan comes out, and the parasite has been put into him. They talk with Marcus. He asks him, we find out the names of these aliens are the Vendrizi. The Vendrizi need their help, needs Franklin's help merging. If he doesn't do it, more people will die. While this is discussing, Marcus also asks about Ivanova and basically expresses romantic interest in her. Franklin goes to help the sick human who's been infected by the Vendrizi. Meanwhile, Marcus escapes. he goes to tries to use Franklin's link, which sets off some sort of security thing. And Ivanova then tells, "Hey, Garibaldi, Franklin might be in trouble. Someone's using his link." Marcus goes into the area where Franklin is. He shoots out the light. They have a talk back and forth. We get the entire story of the creatures, and they are basically, I'm going to give it away, Jeff. They are basically like some sort of parasites that act as a living memory for the galaxy. Duncan has his parasite come out so that Marcus would trust him, tells him it's true. Say they're to preserve memories, the keepers of the past, present, and the future. The doctor kind of takes control of the situation, says, "Okay, well, we don't want people dying. If everything you say is true, then I'll help you and make sure that nobody gets hurt." But of course, Duncan can't get the parasite back, which he wants to, because there's supposedly so many incredible memories. So he leaves Babylon 5. He wants to see the galaxy. He wants to see some of these things, explore.
He's been inspired.
He has, yeah. Also, at the end, Franklin tells Ivanova that Marcus kind of has got a thing for you. And Ivanova then, assuming that the roses were given to her by Marcus, takes the roses and gives them back to Marcus, says, "You take these." And he's like, of course, since he didn't give the roses, he's like, "Hey, thanks, man." And he kind of thinks that maybe she takes them. But I'm sure we'll see something about that later in the future. And that is the quick and dirty summary. All right, Cam.
Yes. Well, I see really two A and B plot here. Seems pretty clear to me, but I'll ask you guys for your opinion. You have this parasite storyline with Marcus and
that's the A
Franklin.
plot.
Yeah, right. And then you have Corwin as the B plot.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Corwin's kind of the Boy Scout kind.
Yeah, he's a straight arrow kind of kid.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Straight arrow guy who basically Ivanova invited to his room. He was running through his head saying, Ivanova wants me.
I don't know. Okay.
I guess we're starting.
He didn't, because
I think he was.
He didn't know. He got mixed signal. He was just
no mixed signal. He went out and got roses. Come on.
No, okay, but no. Well, listen, wait. He went to the guy and the florist was asking him and he was like, "I guess," or "I think so." He was clearly like confused by the situation.
Yeah, because he's like, "Well, what if I miss?
Florist is a good.
What if I'm not getting it right? Oh well, everybody loves getting roses."
And then he waved off. So he was clearly not aggressive in this situation.
No, I'm not saying aggressive, but like a schoolboy type situation.
Yes.
Well, again, it seemed a little. I mean, I thought they portrayed that well. He was like, "What?" It's like,
they did.
I mean, but he was like, "I'm going to keep my options open." I guess you're right about that.
I mean, but he became a full lieutenant. She's a commander. Come on.
So.
Okay. I'll comment on that. First of all, now Ivanova did send mixed signals, right? Like if she wanted to interview him professionally, you don't go to his quarters. Like I never had I didn't really have a female boss, but I'd never go to their quarters. That's she should have said something like, if she doesn't have her own office, she'd be like, she'd go to Sheridan and say, "Hey, can I borrow your office from this time to this time? And I'm going to interview Corwin during that time." Oh, okay. And that makes it, very clear that it's professional. She could bring the coffee if she wanted. She could sit down, you could make it less formal. You sit on this couch instead of behind the desk and you go, "Hey, tell me about your career. Tell me what you want to do with your career. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?"
Yeah, unlike
let me interrupt. Hang on, let me interrupt 1 second and bring back the coffee situation. How many times have we seen where dates end or whether it's a show or anything like that? "Hey, want to come in for some coffee?"
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. She's sending mixed signals. Come to my quarters after hours.
You know how many coffee commercials out there like that
back in the day? About his future, though. You know, she wanted to counsel him on his future career.
Yeah, counsel.
Well, no, clearly.
I mean, she's got her uniform off. I mean, she's relaxed. She's in her quarters.
No, she wouldn't have her uniform off. She had her
jacket.
No, she had her jacket, uniform jacket off. She was out of uniform.
She's in her own home.
She's got her jacket. Yeah. I know, but
it's like Garibaldi going out to the Zocalo wearing his rad shirt from the 90s.
She can do it, but I'm saying that if she wanted to make sure that it's professional, she'd keep the jacket on, and then he knows, like, he's getting mixed signals. I mean, and you know what? Ivanova's the kind of, she's super aggressive. She's the kind of, woman who would go after the younger, wimpier guy that she could push around. And stuff. I can see
nuclear wrestle.
Her personality wise, she liked that kind of.
Yeah, and I don't this whole thing. When did this whole romantic interest from Marcus happen? I don't remember that happening. Did I miss something?
Yeah, she did.
Because apparently so did
Cam. Cam will be back. He's having a bit of a problem with audio.
Let me come back.
So any rate, Marcus is a pompous ass. So I really don't want him. I don't want her having anything to do with him.
Too bad.
What do you mean too bad?
She's
no, she won't go for him.
Oh, she will.
Heck, she will. She will not.
She will. She will. I bet you. Look, he's just the kind of guy. He's got that Scottish or English accent type thing. He's got the long flowing
guy
hair. She needs somebody that she can't push around. She's gonna. He's cocky. She
good thing me and Cam know the truth.
Yeah, you're good, buddy.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think she's gonna go
that would be a very big disappointment for me.
He liked her from the beginning because she's always like, hey,
because he's a womanizer.
She's kind of a jerk.
He's a womanizer, clearly.
Yeah, of course he's a womanizer. Yeah, for sure.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Why would you think he's a womanizer? Just because he acts the
way he looks. Yep.
Books is not always what's on the cover.
Oh, yes, it is.
Really what's
in
the book.
It is. I wouldn't trust him any further. Look, I might trust him to be on the in the Army of Light, but I wouldn't trust him with my sister. Well, okay. He can have
what
her.
A conversation we're having on this one.
Yeah, this is clearly motivating the panel here for some reason.
I think this is it'd be interesting. I think he's always had a thing for her. Now he thinks that she likes him because she gave him roses.
I don't think he had a thing for her. I think he kind of disliked her, or was intimidated by her based on the other things we've seen where she's. They've had several interactions where he's like, yeesh, this chick.
Yeah, but that makes it more interesting, man.
But are you noticing one thing about Corwin?
She's such a jerk.
I just hope they're
in every episode that has passed already so far. We're seeing more and more Corwin.
True.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Okay. Well, while we're talking about this, if we're done with
move on past the romance. She'll never. She's not.
Okay,
Ivanova's not dumb. She's not going to go with a scummy guy like Marcus.
Yeah, let's go beyond. Ivanova does Babylon 5.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I mean, Ivanova is like,
damn it, Al.
I don't know. She's the worst interviewer ever, man. Like, first of all, she sends all these signals to him, and then she interviews him, and she goes like, "Well, would you ever do anything that maybe that Earth Dome wouldn't like this?" I mean, what's he gonna say? She's his boss. Yeah, I like to break the rules, and I'm gonna ignore your orders and all that crap. I'm just a real junior guy, and I just got promoted yesterday. Yeah, sure. Now that I'm promoted, I'm screw the rules. What's he gonna say? He's gonna say, "No, of course I'm a loyal soldier, and I'll do what I'm told." And she's like, "Oh, okay,
they're
whatever.
still
Get
trying
out."
to build it up, though. I mean,
she literally kicks him out afterwards.
Well, thanks for the coffee. Have a great night.
Well, I want to note that
get out of here. He's not even.
They wasted that coffee.
She's the worst.
Mm-hmm. It's very expensive too.
She's the worst. That she's. It's pretty obvious. Well, she asked me to break the rules, and then next thing you know, she turned cold and kicked me out. Like, a monkey could figure that out. Like,
Corwin got coffee. Talia got liquor.
Well, yeah, I was going to note the great difference between having someone over, between the two.
Ivanova does Babylon 5.
I mean, she's just she could have said a million other things like, well, you go, well, what if Earth Dome was doing something wrong? What if there was a...
then you would never violate orders.
Is your loyalty...
Boy Scout.
Yeah, is your loyalty to Earth or is it to loyalty to the truth and what is right? She could have asked that. Well, okay, you put it that way then. Be different. It's just a bad interview.
She's clearly uncomfortable with trying to converse with people.
She's the worst conspirator ever.
Well, I don't know about that, but she certainly... Yeah. She was asked to do
Sheridan keeps pushing these... Right. Sheridan keeps pushing these duties off on her where she's clearly not, the best.
Quite ready for
I know
it.
He said at one point that he's trying to develop her diplomatic skills, but, that's a stretch. It's a bit of a stretch. All right. We got this one covered.
Weatherman gifted a membership level and it looks like it went to Suzanne. Congratulations. Thanks. Appreciate it, Weatherman. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. But look, Sheridan should be kind of giving these to his number 2. But he wanted, like, if he gets, probably could have, because Corwin's an officer, he could have probably talked to him and gotten away with it. It wouldn't be too suspicious. But, he wants to keep a little bit distance between himself and this. This conspiracy, try to, maintain. I can see why he got her to do it. And she should be able to do it, but she's obviously not very good at it. Should have given it the job to Marcus or Garibaldi. Anyway.
Well, okay, yeah, but Garibaldi's not like a direct...
No, he's...
Because he's chief security officer, so he's...
And they would have done...
He's more like enlisted, isn't he?
Well, he's a warrant officer.
He's a... Yeah, you guys, Americans have a warrant officer... ranks which are sort of between an officer and enlisted, more senior. So I think, it makes sense for him to be that rank, but he wouldn't normally, get tasked to, to do that.
He would have enlisted,
but I'm just saying,
regular security guys would report to him. That obviously, so but none of the. I almost said bridge. What do we call it again?
Well, it's kind of...
It's been too long.
CNC.
It's command
control bridge.
Yeah, I said bridge the last time.
Yeah, it's bridge.
But CNC would report to Ivanova, and then she reports to Sheridan. So that makes sense for chain of command. But
okay.
Yeah, well, no, he's in overall charge of the station, but she would run
the day-to-day
CNC and make sure everything's good to go and keep it.
I'm sure she has to do the scheduling and all that stuff.
But also remember, we're at a point where basically who can they trust in CNC at this point also as well. Remember that. We have situations on Earth, we have situations with the shadows. We don't, who do we trust on Babylon 5 at this point?
Right. We don't know who's in. We don't know who you can trust on Earth, who you can trust from Mars, who you can trust from, the Minbari.
I'm not against them feeling Corwin out like that, but I'm just saying
it was awkward. It was awkward.
Very poor job. They should be doing that. Sheridan should be doing that all the time. He's got to be looking around. He's got to be looking over his shoulder for sure. But that's all I want to say about that. Their comment on her very interviewing skills. She doesn't seem to know what she's doing, but anyway. Yeah.
Okay, ready for the Parasite storyline?
Yeah.
Okay.
Moving right along.
Jeff, what do you go ahead, run with it. What do you got to say?
Okay, so in the first that first scene, we see that where the bug attaches and the guy is like writhing in pain. Apparently he's crawling on the ground. I didn't actually see him do this, but in the autopsy that gets revealed later on, he apparently was clenching his fist so tight that he had nail marks created by his own hands in the palms of his hands. The guy died, and we come to find out, that the doctor is meeting. Well, he meets with a whole group of doctors. This is the first time we've seen a whole slew of doctors too, isn't it? And
No.
it gets no. There's a lot of doctors in this room. There's like 7. We've seen 1 or 2 at a time, maybe here and there, but this is like
there's an episode a couple ones back where there's another meeting and there's a bunch of doctors there. So
is it?
I mean, yeah, one other.
Well,
but
they had one in Med Lab, and they also had the one where they had the when that one alien race was getting
the Drazi and the
yeah. So it's good we're getting to see a bit more. I mean, I think that's good.
Yeah. I mean, we're actually seeing a meeting where, and it's brought up to him. Yeah, I mean, this whole dead guy that they found is kind of brought up. So it's, oh, look, he's not doing all the autopsies, or he's not at least doing the initial body inspections.
Well, real quick, it gives a good sense of how extensive the staff is, and which makes sense for this many people, right? Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, Susan, I saw popped in there. But any rate, so it's just kind of an off the cuff. Yeah, we had this strange death. We can't really quite explain it. He just kind of died and yada yada yada. And so he's like, well, I'll take a closer look. And we go on, and he comes to see the body, and he finds this strange thing on a scan wrapped around the spine, but they're other than detecting some controlled substances, human male 35 arriving on the station 22:58. There's apparently marks. Apparently they still use needles. I don't that wasn't quite clear, but controlled substance use. There was dust that was detected in his system, and something called mazafine or mazamorphine or something like that. At any rate, but
it's a vegetable.
It's a vegetable. But at any rate, he kind of speculates, that it was maybe shock was a contributing factor, or that he was under severe stress or fear when he died. And then he runs a scan, and it finds this thing on his spine. So he decides he's going to cut it open. And as far as he can tell, it's genetically neutral. So that's kind of interesting. What do you make of the genetically neutral aspect to that?
Well, I think that they were trying to indicate that and he said it was compatible with anything, meaning it wouldn't be rejected. So it's designed to be compatible with everything.
Yeah. Let's see. Speaking back, we come to learn. I guess he's kind of just finishing up his autopsy when Marcus bursts in after his meeting with Garibaldi and getting nowhere.
Well, can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah, because he was a little loud, wasn't he?
That's a good thing.
Ridiculous. I mean, they're in the middle of the Zocalo or whatever, and he's screaming across the. It's not like he's just talking loud next to him. He's like literally yelling across the place,
making a spectacle.
Yeah,
no, they're not in the Zocalo. They're like in the public spaces. People are walking
promenade area, or
whatever. Like a promenade type thing. There's stalls and stuff. And he's like, I'm trying to do this conspiracy, and you're not even helping me.
Yeah.
All my contacts are missing, and what are you doing? I can't. How am I supposed to run this conspiracy if you don't? If I lose all my people?
Let's blab about it to the whole world.
I was just shaking my head, going,
"Well, the best line on that, and this is quote unquote. Well, thank you, Mr. Garibaldi, one of the leading minds of the 14th century. Have we no workhouses? Have we no prisons? Mr. Marley, here's like a word with you. He's the fellow in the chains. Ignore the moans. It's just gas."
I was kind of like, okay, that's over camping it, overacting.
Well, that's Marcus. Marcus tends to joke that way,
Well,
even serious joke.
Yeah, but
I think this is the most we've seen of Marcus, though.
In
any given episode. This was kind of an introduction. I mean, not an introduction, but it was an expansion of what we've seen from him, and it wasn't very favorable in my opinion. But you guys may differ. Snob, the Zocalo is that. That's what that is.
Oh, I thought the Zocalo is a bar.
No, that's Earhart's.
Well, I thought there was a bunch of bars.
There are.
There's
a bar in the Zocalo. I mean,
I thought the Zocalo was one of the bars in the.
No, it's the marketplace.
The Zocalo is the marketplace.
Some fan you are, man.
Okay, so that's fine. That's the marketplace. Well, I mean, it obviously, okay, that's the Zocalo.
Not where you want to be having a meeting.
Not where it's not normally where you talk about conspiracies.
And
let me just say, welcome, Susan. You're a lurker down below. Yeah. Welcome. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
No, the other thing is I mean, they're having this conversation, and Garibaldi knows he's a ranger.
Mm-hmm.
If a ranger, Garibaldi's part of this conspiracy too, right? If a ranger comes to you and says, "I'm noticing something weird," why did Garibaldi brush it off? Wasn't that
it didn't make a lot of sense to me either. He was kind of playing like, it's like the real by the book kind of thing, as if weird stuff doesn't happen. And it was more like, sorry, no laws broken, not my problem. It was very strange to me.
It's especially
and that's very un-Garibaldi.
Yes, that's
right. Garibaldi's the guy who breaks the rules. And he goes, oh, let me check this out. And let me just beat this guy up a little bit to get some information. I mean, he's the guy who go, oh, something suspicious. Let me get in there and find out what's going on. Maybe it's something big.
Well, he's also the one that
I thought it was
out of character, because he's also the one that
completely out of character.
He's also the one that goes by intuition and gut. Yeah. And he should learn to be trusting somebody else he's in this conspiracy with. He should trust their gut feeling too. If somebody else has got a gut feeling, might want to check it out, man. It was uncharacteristic in my opinion of him.
Yeah.
So, any rate, he kind of says, well, yeah, they might need to see a doctor or something, blah blah blah, and of course somehow Marcus said, he got inspiration from that and decided to go see the doctor, because apparently he knows that the doctor is into conspiracies too. I didn't. How did he? I mean, does he?
Well, Marcus knows the Franklin's part of it.
Well, he knows Franklin's a part of it, but Franklin has been known to be doing stuff. He was running the Underground Railroad thing, right? So, does he know that? Do we know that he knows that? It seemed kind of a little uncharacteristic to me. I say.
Yeah, it didn't fit in. I was a little bit surprised at the whole thing. I mean, Garibaldi's reaction and stuff like that. But I mean, like I said, they could have. I think he could have done something like, if they just manufactured something else that Garibaldi had to do that was super important. That was, they could have, instead of this whole, hey, I don't give a crap what you think or what you're doing, you could have said, listen, that sounds important, but I really, really got to do this. Why don't you take it over, or go to Franklin and keep me informed, that kind of thing. And he could, if they still, because they obviously want to get Franklin and him and Marcus together, and this is their episode.
It's their time together. It's their time to.
Yeah. So, it seemed, like you said, very uncharacteristic for Garibaldi. Should have made up some other reason that made more sense.
Yes. At any rate, so Doc and Marcus go to investigate this, and of course he kind of he spins the truth and says, "Oh, Garibaldi said I should probably get you involved. Come to you about this." And so he's like, "Oh, well, I just finished up here," and he's throwing away his smock. It's a clean hospital area, but no, never mind. This grungy looking guy with a fancy accent comes in, and we're gonna go on an adventure now. they go to the down below, and then of course Marcus is like, he rings the doorbell, for lack of a better term, and no answer, and he's like, well, he's been sick and so and so and so and so, and he's like, well, for a medical emergency, I can do this one thing, and we can only look in, right? We can't go in. We can only look and make sure everything's good. Make sure there's not an emergency. So he opens the door, and then of course Marcus runs right in. Doc, you better come in here. So that was, I don't know. I kind of expected Marcus was going to do that. What about you guys? It was kind of.
Yeah. So,
well, first of all, did we
good.
just have a beer commercial in the background?
Yes, we did.
No, it's not beer.
Unprofessional.
It's rum.
It's
700.
Rum.
We're celebrating. 700 celebrating. It's rum. Appleton's Estate signature rum. That's my my basic go-to rum. Nothing special. Just
normal he needs
rum.
He needs antifreeze for
anyway.
his blood, because it's so cold up there.
Yeah. I thought. I mean, I didn't find a problem with this portion of it. It shows us they're giving us something about Marcus's character. He breaks the rules. He does whatever, which you kind of expect for a guy who's basically
a rogue.
A spy.
He's a rogue.
A rogue spy type thing, and and him lying to Franklin, I seems right in character with what I expected of him. So I mean, and I think it kind of proves the fact that he might have needed Franklin's help to get in there, because he couldn't get in there. And I'll talk about just let me quickly mention the next episode.
Go ahead.
Because I usually watch the first little bit of the next episode after this, and in that, at the very beginning of the episode, Ivanova mentioned something that she got Marcus a ID so that he can get into places and stuff. So maybe he doesn't have the way to get into it, so he's going to use Franklin. He's assuming that Franklin's the head medical guy. Maybe he can get in. So that makes sense that he would want Garibaldi, security override, or Franklin or someone to come and help him out with that. So,
but if he's a rogue, how come he can't pick a damn lock? I mean, or do some sort of override. I'm like,
he's a ranger.
Yeah, whatever. He's a rogue too. Rangers can pick locks. Damn it.
Can I add a couple of things to this episode?
Absolutely.
Some things that
this is not dragon, and come on.
Can I add a couple of things in this episode for this episode? Most people don't realize that to this episode, which is somewhat important, but it's on there. First of all, Marcus's friend, played by the late Aubrey Brooks, who's been in movies and stuff like that, known for Life Force, Wicker Man, Clockwork Orange, and also the captain in the bathtub in the faded Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. You have a great actor on today. He's done so many roles on there, and he was pretty good on this to that point.
He was the best actor on this.
You're talking about Duncan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, He's done a lot. He's done a lot of stuff. If you don't realize his face because of the beard and all that, go into his IMDb and you'll realize, oh yeah, I remember that from Clockwork Orange. Yeah, he had some great roles back in the day.
He's been a minor character on a lot of different things. Played a lot of roles. Yeah.
We've had always memorable. This show. One thing about him, it's always memorable roles.
Yeah.
On that, the other half of this, and I was before we got to the beginning of this, I was reading some of the comments of people are talking about the show from other sites and stuff like that. One thing they always bring up, that they made a comparison that the creature was similar to the Goa'uld in Stargate SG-1. I kind of say that's kind of a bit wrong.
No, what it's like is the creature from the Next Generation that went into the mouth and attached through the mouth.
Nope, got to go further back. Got to go further back than that. We got to go all the way back to Vincent Price days of a movie by William Castle called The Tingler. If you have never seen that movie, it's a great movie on there. William Castle, the Barnum and Bailey of the horror film genre, which had a creature pretty much similar to that and came off the back as well.
Yeah, well, and maybe it was a nod to that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. JMS has normally loved the classics. JMS Forbidden Planet and all the other ones, and he always tries to throw something in there that resembles from the past. Now, did you notice on this episode, okay, that it looked like that it was not, even though JMS wrote this, doesn't it seem to you that there were two writers on this show?
Yes. Yeah, this was throughout the whole way, the disjointedness of it. It's like, I know JMS is supposed to have written all these episodes, but this one so far is the one that for this season, and even comparing it with the previous season, where JMS wrote most of the last season, this one seemed like one that he may have written the outline for, and it was filled in by other people.
Yeah.
No, he did write the whole. He did write the whole thing.
Why did you say that? Why do you say that it's disjointed? What?
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to hear.
No, you're asking me, or you're asking?
I'm asking Jeff? Whoever.
Because the quality isn't there. It's not very good episode.
Right.
Okay, there is a reason for this. The reason is JMS got sick while writing this. Now, he probably took some days off to recover and all that. When he came back to finish the story, he didn't remember where he was going with this story. He completely forgot the direction he was going in, and just literally just wrote it off to the point where, I guess I'm going to go from this point on and just write whatever it is. So he kind of got lost in translation on this.
Okay.
So that's why it feels so unbridged.
It just seemed extremely disjointed to me. And nothing, everything felt off a little bit. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It just something was off about it. It compared to the previous episodes that we've seen that we know he did. This was just not quite. This was not his best episode.
No,
certainly
not his best, but it's okay. But also remember, to this point, we have a species here that is trying to put themselves together to leave and hide.
Well, we haven't gotten there yet.
We haven't gotten there yet.
We haven't mentioned that yet.
Oh, okay, never mind. We'll hold that for a moment.
except for that we're working towards that. Except for what Snob said at the beginning. No, so
we could
mention
it. I mean, everyone's seen we've all seen the episode.
How do you know? Everybody's seen.
All right. Well, in any case, let's get to it. Because go ahead.
Yeah,
Jeff.
Get to it.
All right.
Forward.
So yeah, when they come across and they go into Duncan's quarters, and they see this hole in the wall with this weird webbing on it. And Jeanette was getting ready for work, and she's like, "Is there spider people or something on board Babylon 5?"
Well, I said, are there going to be the singing aliens in there? With Sheridan at one time.
I didn't quite understand why what all the cobwebs were for. Why did it? That didn't make sense. These
why there was a hole in the wall in the first place.
I didn't get it either. Yeah, why was there?
Why was there a hole? Yeah, where did this come?
Spiders in there.
In science fiction horror, never enter a hole where there's spider webs in there.
Marcus jumped right in there.
Even in fantasy, man, don't even.
Yeah, well, but they both did. They didn't even have a torch to burn away the webs.
Right.
But they come out through the other side, through the bulkhead or whatever. That would have made a lot of noise and probably would have set off some alarms too, right? Wouldn't there have been some sort of sensor that would have detected it? I don't know.
Blowing holes or cutting holes in the
bulkheads.
It looked a little jagged, like maybe they blew it as opposed to cut it. I don't remember.
Yeah. At any rate, so they come out to the other side, right? And they see this guy writhing in pain with this bulging thing on his back. And of course they go to try to, Doc's got to be right there and try and save him. And of course all the other ones come out, and I don't know what kind of weapons they had, PPGs or what. They couldn't quite say, but they were all pointing something at him, and they said, stop, And he's like, this man is dying, and blah blah blah, And at any rate, come to find out that there's apparently the whole reason why they had an issue with the merging on the first patient was because of the drugs, apparently, and the condition that his body was in. Their excuse at first, I was like, yeah, right, sure, you guys are really, just trying to help out these people that have no hope for the future, right? Yeah, I'm buying that. Well, did everybody else buy that at first, or it didn't seem plausible to me.
No, it didn't.
I didn't really. I'm like, okay, well, this is their reason. Let's find out more.
When I first saw
I wasn't
this,
buying it right off the bat, of course, but
when I first saw this, I said to myself, "Uh-oh, is this another members of the Shadows or something to that nature?" I was like, that was in my mind when I first saw Exogenesis.
Yeah. I kind of thought, okay, this is just going to be a spin on Alien, or it's going to be some sort of creature that's part of the Shadow that's trying to take over the humans on board the station and infiltrate. And
well, I mean, that makes sense, right? That makes sense, perfect sense.
Yeah.
And
maybe that's what he was leading to.
Well, the idea though is the whole. I mean, right away, I think Marcus and Franklin, when they're in jail, they sort of bring that up and they say, why would they go for all these people who are the low, the people in the down below? They're not very important in the running of the station. Why wouldn't they try to get, Sheridan or something? I mean, one says, well, maybe they're working their way up, which is a good point. But you'd think they would be trying to take, someone else as well. So they kind of, mitigate that a little bit there with that point, which is, goes there.
Taking the dregs of society because they wouldn't be noticed, maybe. And while you build up your numbers so that you can have an overwhelming force and take over the station, sure, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. But the other way would work Sheridan, and then it's pretty easy to, then you can go, hey, just, or take the doctor, and he just starts infecting everybody,
Yeah, kind of like Riker had that little thing sticking out the back of his neck type of thing.
Yeah.
In TNG, yeah. Which that's what I kept on going back to the whole time, because that's what it reminded me of. I've never seen what Madman, what you were talking about.
Oh no, you have to. Anyone out there, and someone already in the chat, because the chat's been on fire today. They're even quoting other Vincent Price movies on there. But the Tingler, it is a great film on there. It had some great gimmicks to the point. If you go through the history of William Castle, that's why they call him the Barnum and Bailey of the theater industry, because he used to put gimmicks in the theater. He used to put shock chairs. Yeah. People, he would shock people. They make feel that Tingler was running around the theater.
Interesting. Did not know that. Mm-hmm. Well, my experience with Vincent Price, other than his occasional cameos around Halloween, was in Thriller. So,
the main premise of Tingler is that basically they think the Vincent Price is a scientist. He thinks that there are things attached to our back that live off of our fears.
Oh, okay.
That basically, you could draw this thing out a certain way, and that's what this thing that lives off the back of our fears.
Yeah. Oh, at any rate, we come to learn that these are called the Vendrizi, and they don't want to hurt anybody, but they will if necessary.
Another homage back to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
So I think maybe where Snob, you had mentioned that they might be like the Goa'uld, and of course their counterparts were the Tok'ra.
No, I think
which makes me wonder.
That was me.
Yeah, that was.
Was it? Okay. So they're kind of like the Tok'ra in that regard. I wonder if they have a counterpart for the Shadow that is more like the Goa'uld. from Stargate, of course, for those who don't know, recognize the names. The Goa'uld and the Tok'ra are basically the same species. The difference is the one is good and one is bad. One wants to be a god, and the other one, they're both symbiotes, but one is controlling and one is passive. One is cooperative with their host.
Well, throughout science fiction history, and science fiction and horror, excuse me, let me put that together there. There's always been some sort of creature like this, movies like Slither and a couple others that, basically the parasites that invade the body to the point, you can name a dozen films that have come out in the last 2 decades having that plot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what's the difference between a parasite and a symbiote? I mean, I think the thing is whether or not what they're doing is detrimental. And of course, Duncan is there, and Duncan, they all kind of speak with this this kind of almost a third person-ish tone. I
would call it flat.
Yeah.
A flat tone.
Well,
semi-emotionless.
Yeah. And they try to explain that, look, we are the recorders of history, of the past, the present, and the future. We were around long before, we heard song long before, which I thought was kind of an interesting reference. Song, remember that? Long before your species was able to speak. So that kind of makes you wonder if they clearly they've been around. They are maybe one of the ancient ones, one of the ancient races that nobody even realized, and that leads into the potential for a possible ally. Duncan takes the step, and he says, "Look, doctor says, look, Marcus said, I trust the man, I trust the Duncan I knew before. I don't trust you. I don't know, who you are or who you really are." And Duncan, whatever he is, with the symbiote, they decide to separate so that Duncan can speak on his own accord. But unfortunately, that separation apparently is it's a one-time thing. You could have the symbiote, and if they leave, then you're back to you can't ever have it done again, I guess, is the way. The damage would be too severe, is my understanding.
Let's lack a little bit though to
the
whole. Okay, so this idea that first of all, the song thing. Why do you think you mentioned that's interesting?
Because we've heard references to the songs, of the ancient times from the Vorlons. We've heard Vorlons talk about the song. Listen to the song and listen, the music. When Sheridan was going through his little training, with Kosh. So, and then of course we've also heard it with, is it Lita that we heard that with? Where she could hear the music. Sheridan's heard the music, when he was in, I was always with you, and so on and so forth. And we've heard references to song before. At least that's my recollection. Cam, what do you think?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? You don't remember hearing about song? Am I the only one?
No. I know what you're talking about. It's onto there, and there have been many references throughout the series on there's the importance of the song. Different races having the song to the point that and to the references, which basically, what is this leading to? You're hearing all this, and this is just part of another long line of things that are going on with this series, as far, especially now in this baseline with the Shadow War that's going on, because you have a lot of things that have gone beyond. Now, perfect example is these creatures that are in this episode. and you're hearing that basically that they're gathering knowledge. They're the gatherers of knowledge. They've been on many different worlds. They've seen many different things in their existence. Now they're going into hiding. Now, what does that sound to you? For another group that has gone into hiding.
Sounds kind of like mages.
Yeah,
mages. That's right. Now we're getting to the point. Think of this like the Titanic sinking. The rats are leaving the ship.
All right, hold on a second.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna do a little break. Take a 1 minute break, and then we're gonna come back with that thought. I want to explore it, and I think it's a good time to do the break now because
break time.
Nobody will no one will leave because Madman's just about to. Okay, we'll be right back. Hold on a second.
Good evening. Ambassador Lando Molari here from Babylon 5. Please join me on the Babylon 5 retrospective on Science Fiction Snob, Wednesdays at 10 p.m. Central. Yes? Have I ever told you you're very cute for a Mambare?
All right.
And we're back.
Go ahead.
I thought we were going to get a beer commercial in there.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
A Zima commercial, maybe.
Work on that. Madman.
Okay. All right. Where we are. Okay. Let's take this to the point like the Titanic. Titanic sinking. We're getting to the point where the techno mages was the first part of the warning that they're leaving because of a greater darkness that was coming. The Vendrizi, whatever the hell is going. They're leaving also with the information. They're going into hiding because of the situation of the darkness that is coming. These are the warning signs. These are the signs on the highway that all hell is about to break loose here. And there are those who already foreseen this, and they're saying, it's like last guy at the restaurant gets the check. We're out of here. To that point, and we're seeing more and more this episode to episode that in the background, this is what's going on.
Right.
The other sign is we already lost an entire race to disease, which according to the history, this happened something in the history of those people. They said they had that disease 1,000 years ago. What happened 1,000 years ago? The shadows were on the move then as well.
Yeah.
So these are all road marks toward getting toward the Shadow War.
Almost kind of reminiscent of the Seven Seals.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Breaking of the seals.
That's what I was going to get to. Yeah, we're getting to the point where we're coming down to the last seal is going to be broken.
Yeah, we're not there yet, but we're
not there yet.
Close.
But it's getting close. It's getting damn close.
Yeah, I took it as to I think those are all great points. But the fact that this is an older race, half a million years old, I thought it crossed my mind that maybe they are one of the old ones like the Vorlons. But then he says half versus millions. Then you kind of get the idea that perhaps an older race might have invented, genetically engineered these things to become more active when these various shadow wars break out, so that the galaxy won't be completely destroyed and all the knowledge lost. So yeah,
we already saw our first one all the way back to season 1. The Sigma 957 at Sigma 957.
Right.
Oh, we saw one of these crawling on you. We did.
No, not these creatures. I'm talking about we've seen the first, the early people of this galaxy, Sigma 957, you had some unusual craft that was in that area.
Right, but remember, wasn't there something that was crawling out of the cave where Sheridan's wife and Morden? Wasn't there something?
You're going a little too far.
Hmm?
You're going too far.
What do you mean I'm going too far?
Who did you say?
When they were on where the shadows were hiding in that cave.
Oh, you're talking. Okay, I see what you're talking about.
Wasn't there
you're talking
some
about
creature that was very similar looking?
Where Kosh,
where Kosh gave him the memory.
Yeah.
Yes. Wasn't there a creature that very similar looking that kind of crawled out of there? I swear I remember seeing. I'm gonna have to go back and watch now. See, I'm gonna have to go watch the whole series all again from the beginning. No, but at any rate, I think it was kind of
that was a shadow. You're talking about.
So maybe it's the shadow. Maybe it's the counterpart of one of these. It was shadow, but we saw the eyes of the one creature, but I thought we saw one of these, something similar looking to this. Maybe a similar creature that was corrupted by the shadow. You know. At any rate, you know, once they kind of convince them that yes, and the Doctor lays down some ground rules. That he wants to monitor it, and I don't know how they're going to pick people. Are you going to pick volunteers? How do you go about that selection process?
That's what he says, that everyone must volunteer. That's what Franklin says.
Yeah, but I mean, how are you going to tell people, hey, we've got this symbiote creature that we can put on you that'll give your life meaning? It sounds like
who are they picking, Jeff? Who are they picking?
I know they're picking people from the down below.
They're picking lurkers, people that basically are at their wits' end, to the point that either they're sick or to the point where they can't. They want to leave Babylon 5 and they can't because they can't afford it. So basically they're just living homeless inside the infrastructure of Babylon 5.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's talk about that for a second. Now, did anybody think that was a little bit unusual, strange?
That Franklin,
that whole idea that Franklin is just going to go and he's just going to help them out. I mean, usually humans. I mean, human beings have a
it was all strange.
We have a bit of a thing about a loss of self, right? Personality, and having your personality subsumed by some other, alien creature that nobody knows about, right? Like, I mean, that's something that we usually recoil against. And here's like, Franklin's going to help them. Yeah, no problem. Let's help these guys out. I'm sure they're exactly what they say. I mean, we don't know. They could still have some, ulterior motive that we can't see. I mean, they're half a million year old species who knows what they could be up to. It just seemed a little bit. Franklin's like, yeah, all right, I'll give you a hand, sure. And I'm surprised.
Well, first of
Sheridan's going to give the thumbs up to that as well.
Well, no. First of all, he's a doctor, correct?
He is a doctor. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Last time I checked.
You booted him.
People are jumping in and out. All right.
Madman, did you hear that? He hated you so much.
Man, he hated me so much he kicked me out. Oh,
that idea is anathema to me.
Basically, first of all, he's a doctor, correct? What is his major study?
Exobiology.
Exactly. He is in fascination of other species and beings throughout the galaxy, and he's we haven't gotten the whole storyline and I don't want to give too much away onto this point, but fake to say that he's been all over the place. He's hitchhiked throughout the galaxy, and he's learned all different species and all this. So things like this would fascinate him, when you get to a new species, that he starts to learn what these things are.
It's still, I mean, you're no longer who you are. You've got this other being, and maybe you're there, and maybe it's really great and everything, but you're still not who you are. Like, I hate to bring this back to Star Trek, but do you remember the Trill? Like,
yes,
in Star Trek,
it was very,
that was a bit. I mean, and that is kind of, you don't like your personality isn't completely subsumed, but you become different because of all these other memories. But even that was still a little bit unusual, and had these interesting questions that sort of were brought up. They didn't always look at them very deeply, but I think again, that's something that humans are very much against. Like, oh my God, I won't be the same person I am. I think there'd be a lot of reluctance, and it seems people are a little.
I wouldn't do
I understand what you're saying about Franklin. I thought it was a little quick to him to go, okay.
Well, no,
maybe it fits with him, but I don't know if Sheridan would have given the. But Sheridan, the doctor's not can't. I'm going to do it. Okay, well, Sheridan's like,
Although
Sheridan,
if you think about it, Sam's father in Stargate SG-1, he takes on a Tok'ra because he's got terminal illness. So I could see maybe people with terminal, because this creature did seem to he did heal Duncan, right? The cough was gone and stuff like that. So maybe somebody who is terminal, it might be an option for.
I'm not saying no one's going to do it.
Yeah.
There's going to be people who are try out things just to try it out. But I'm just, sort of a species genetic sort of thing to be against this. I'm just surprised that
controlled.
Franklin just goes, oh, yeah, sure, no problem. And Sheridan's like, okay, whatever. It seemed a little bit off to me, but
Well, no, you got to remember to the point and what these creatures are. They are gatherers of knowledge. They've been on pretty much every world throughout the galaxy, and they're continuing to gather knowledge on everything possible into there. By merging with them, you're gaining everything they've learned and kept.
Yeah,
once you merge with them, and Duncan mentions it, that you see things on worlds that you've never seen before, that we've never found yet. We haven't found these places yet, or they're gone at this point. I mean, it's very important information, and to see it, these creatures probably see it more in toward like a piece of artwork, beauty, or open up a very interesting novel to the point onto there that when they merge, it's like, oh my God, look at all this information. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Which leads me to my conclusion that, okay, these creatures, maybe they're not bad, maybe they actually are good, maybe they were part of the Army of Light at one point in time in the past, or they were at least certainly aware of the events of the past. Keepers of knowledge, they've got a lot of knowledge. We kind of need knowledge. Maybe they're going to be allies. Maybe we'll see them in the future. Maybe they'll work with us on, being able to design weapon systems that can protect us, because they basically are what, like the library at Alexandria, a living version of that for the entire universe, right?
They wouldn't be something of weapons. They would be something of the society itself, the art, the people.
If they were about weapons, they'd give them right.
Yeah,
I mean, I agree with that, Jeff. That's exactly what they are, and I assumed, I don't know, but I'm assuming that they were invented by some sort of
you think they were genetically engineered? I never got that. Yeah, I didn't get that.
There's hints about that. If I had to guess, I would say that they were genetically engineered by some sort of race, perhaps from the Army of Light, or perhaps a neutral race that saw this battle coming on, and they're like, this we're going to destroy ourselves. Someone has to be there to keep keep our knowledge going. I'm going to invent this thing. This will be a great way to keep our knowledge, and it'll keep going. It'll stay, and it'll keep going on even when our race is gone, if we don't survive the coming battles and stuff. So
that's fascinating that you came up with that conclusion, that you thought that they might be genetically engineered. That didn't even come up at all in my thought process. I didn't pick that up at all. So that's an interesting notion.
there's no reason why a creature like this would develop naturally. So I would say, and we know that the elder races are highly technologically advanced. So
I mean, their ships, some of the advanced ships are genetically biological based.
So it seems very obvious to me that that would make the most sense to me. But I don't know.
I don't either. I'm not so convinced of that, but
not beyond this. So
I do find that theory fascinating, Snob. And meanwhile, Cam and Madman are snickering to themselves because they know the answer. So,
well, I don't know that. I don't know.
We're snickering, Cam.
We don't.
I never.
Maybe this is never mentioned ever again. Like it's just kind of a throwaway. But this is going.
Yeah, Jeff, you got to remember they're leaving. They're not coming. They're point to point. They're hiding to hide this information for maybe a time way down the line, so they can bring this information back to the.
But maybe some of them will help and fight and provide information.
That's not what they.
I don't think
that's
so.
Not what they're there.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
You said it. The Alexandrian Library. That's what they are.
They seem very focused on their purpose, which is to preserve knowledge, and the getting involved in a coming battle might threaten that, right? By one side seeing them as with the other side, and they might be sought out and destroyed. So the most logical thing for them to do would be collect knowledge, not take sides, and try to hide and survive the
that would be
apocalypse.
disappointing.
Nobody knows about this race. Remember that. Nobody was like, oh yeah, I remember them. No, nobody knows about this race.
Well, the Vorlons might. Who knows?
They've been hidden a long time. The Vorlons would have shown. Kosh would have shown up. Nobody knows of this race. They've kept hidden to themselves, and they're just gathering themselves up, gaining other people so they can be carried. Whatever their species have maybe new births that have come around to continue their lifespans, and they're moving on out of the the firing range of this.
If we don't see them again, I will be disappointed.
It may not be. It may not be in their lifetime.
We do not see them again.
No. If we don't see them again in the series, before the series, before we, hopefully triumph over the shadows,
If
be surprised if we never see them. I would. Madman has mentioned before, this is another signpost on the road, and that it's letting us know that even the techno mages are leaving. These guys are now leaving. Something's coming, and some people know what's coming.
I think we'll see the techno mages again too.
Maybe, but they are leaving. They have left.
Well, sure.
They know something's coming. So these are all hints towards that.
Yeah, I was like, okay, well, maybe we'll see them again in either the next episode or a few episodes down the road.
From the way it sounded in this episode, I'm not quoting to what I know further on down the line. This is from this episode. It sounds like they are going underground, and the only way they will return if basically we lose the Shadow War, that the galaxy is in shambles, to the point where knowledge is lost. That's when they probably would return.
Okay, well, that would be very boring.
No, it's not boring. It's just this is there've been many stories, many times where even in our own history where people have hidden information, they've hidden history to protect it from war. It's always been a situation. Save the history, save the art, save the the knowledge, the music, and all that, to protect it on there. I mean, we see even in this day and age,
even in
we're going through
as close as World War II.
Even today in this age in the Middle East, you have terrorists destroying museums, crushing them out, eliminating the history of thousands of years of history of the Middle East.
not just in the Middle East.
Yeah,
I'll leave it at that. But
that's true too. I didn't want to get too political into that point yet, but you're right, Cam, also as well.
Like I said, I fully expected to see them in another episode in the rest of the series sometime some point in time.
Like I said, they're just another part of this story that basically.
But if there's just a throwaway race, I get it. Okay, it's a little disappointing.
That's what I think.
It's a little disappointing to think that, because they have so much potential. So they have something valuable to the Army of Light that they've
repeat what you just said.
I don't think they have any value to the Army of Light. The only value is they have is rebuilding afterwards. That's their value to the galaxy. So they're going to wait out until the end.
You're not going to convince me.
Whether
you're not going to convince me that you're right.
I'm not trying to convince you.
But remember what you just said.
Stating
value.
my opinion for the audience.
Yeah. Remember value.
Yeah.
Information is value.
Well, sure it is.
And to the enemy, that information, they may use it against everyone, whatever they have. Remember that too.
Or they might attempt to destroy it so that people don't know what happened in the past, and they can't go and say, "Hey, let's try to be like it was a lot better in the past." Let's be like that. I mean, it's a fairly typical thing of tyrants to destroy the past so that people can't go, "Hey, our lives now suck compared to what they used to be." Right? You try to erase the past so that you don't have anything to compare to. So you'll think, "Oh, maybe this isn't." So, if you could conquer the galaxy and you wanted to, be an autocrat of the show, control everyone, you would want to make sure that people don't know that things used to be better. So, yeah, you might want to eliminate people who have, knowledge or memory of the past. So, I would, my guess would be they're going to hide until a time that they're safe, and then, help with the rebuild of the galaxy, whatever, however that might. Yeah.
Okay. I disagree. Anyway, moving on. What's next?
Cam.
Jeff is going to drive me to the drink.
That's about it as far as I'm.
For the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Let me. Okay. Well, this is. Okay. Do you want to talk a little bit about? I mean, we talked about this big issue thing. We're going to go. I'm going to pull you to the smaller stuff. What did you think about the whole, Marcus comes in to save Franklin. He shoots out the lights. And then he says, something to Franklin about how, you're not as believable with this. And then he sort of stands up and says, okay, I don't care about, oh, you're going to kill these people. I don't care about it. He's better suited. But I just thought that whole, he comes in, he shoots out the lights. That's how they're going to deal with this problem. Why not shoot the people?
And it took an awful long time for Garibaldi and his men to get there.
Yeah, they did capture them and lock them up, and then also threaten to kill them in a sense. Well, they make a comment about, I'll kill you. It just seemed a very strange way to take Marcus to the situation. He escapes and then, comes in and just shoots out the lights. Did anybody feel that was a little bit weird?
Well, again, it's
disjointed.
JMS kind of, didn't remember, what he wanted for this story, and had one half of a story. Said, "Okay, now I'm sick." You come back to the story, and suddenly, what was I thinking?
Did he remember that the prison cell wasn't locked? Because Marcus just opens the door after he punches the guy in the face.
Yeah.
Just the door just opens. I'm like, oh.
And they could have crawled out that one side too.
I didn't notice that part.
It was like big enough for me to crawl through. I mean, I could have crawled out of there maybe. Certainly one of the other ones could have. But whatever. But I guess if the door's not locked, you ain't got to do that either. So.
And there was no other guard outside?
Why bother?
There was one.
It's not. How about the use of the tricking of hey, look into my
look right there and shake it twice.
Shake it twice so it pops you in the head. Is that a little bit no? Everyone's Cam, you're good with that?
Say it again.
That was perfectly. Shake this thing and it'll bop you in the face.
I thought that was a little funny. Yeah.
Was that
funny?
Was the shake weight out then? I think it was. I wonder if it was related to the. Remember the shake weight?
It's a Minbari Pite stick,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, whatever. It kind of goes. Okay, cool.
Ever a game being polite, he could leave. They did lock him up. Yes. I can trust you, and you're not going to leave. I mean, we can't lock the door, but oh yes, well, you've all fair. Yes. Hip hop. I'll just stay, even though it's not unlocked. Maybe that's a good point. Is he British or Scottish? I thought he was Scottish, but I mean, he's from the he's that area for sure. Yeah, I thought that was a little bit. Maybe there's a little bit of disjointedness. What about Marcus? Talking when he's in there with, and he's talking Ivanova, and he says, Ivanova is a key as yet unturned.
Mm-hmm.
What you guys?
He's creepy.
You thought that was creepy? Okay.
Yes. I know what he meant. But...
Well, it seemed like a Bert thing, that he's basically saying, "Hey,
yeah,
that's what it's a polite way of
that's the way it come off. It kind of comes off.
But
that
I'm
way.
like, really?
Ivanova does Babylon 5.
God, I hope not.
Like, it's just.
I hope Ivanova continues to hate him for the remainder of the series.
I'm betting that he's gonna win her over.
I do not want that. I don't like him. Hopefully, he'll get.
Now he likes her even more.
Hopefully, he'll get Keffered soon.
He thinks that he gave her that she gave him a bunch of roses, so now he thinks she actually likes him. He's even more
coined a new term there, Keffered.
Keffered. Yeah, remember that.
No, he got Keffered. Yes. No.
No.
Wait,
Marcus,
I'm sorry.
Marcus, I find Marcus an interesting character to the point, as the Rangers on there, because where he comes, where he is, he was a guy that just, he was one of these Lycia colony members that basically was living there, mining and all that, and his brother came to warn him, and he was like, "Oh, you're crazy," something like that. And then his brother dies, and then he pledges to the Rangers himself to get revenge for his brother, to the point. He didn't care to the situation on the Rangers.
Which was a good story. I that's a good background for him. I get it. I don't know.
I don't have any problem with
arrogant. It comes out as arrogant. That's what drives me.
No problem with character. It's interesting. It's a little bit of the other characters. It's good to mix it up a little bit in there. I find it strange that the Rangers all wear the same thing, so it's a conspiracy. You're supposed to keep it,
blend in.
Can you imagine the French resistance
blend
running
in
around
by all looking the same?
Yeah, can you imagine the French resistance running around with jackets that all say French resistance on the back, right? During World War II, like, it's just, it's got to keep a lower profile. But yeah, I would just have them. But oh well.
You have Hogan's Heroes, and they didn't keep it low.
Yeah,
but they're already in the gulag.
Yeah, but they always kept going to France or something like that. Nobody missed them at the
end. Very inept.
Now, what about this? This seems to me like it's a bit more of it's like a Franklin and Marcus episode. They're trying to give us a little bit more of Marcus and a little bit more Franklin. What do you guys think about that aspect of it? Does it? Assuming you
now
agree,
I have two least favorite characters now that are human.
Are you assuming that it's true that it is a Franklin and Marcus episode? What did you think about that aspect of it? Is it successful? Not?
It's a beginning point.
Yeah.
And not to give things away. I mean, expect maybe they might team up again. Maybe.
Well, Franklin's not doing too well with the ladies, so maybe
Franklin's not doing well right now. Period. Remember,
he might switch sides.
No. Serious point. He's not doing well because
because of the stems. They did not even. This episode didn't even have anything related to that. I'm
okay with that.
It's okay. I mean, you don't need to concentrate on every episode.
Yeah, we don't need
no. But I mean, there was like, the fact that he's got to be involved in everything and this and that and the other and blah blah blah. This was almost reminiscent of when the Doctor and Garibaldi, or not Garibaldi, the Doctor and Sheridan kind of tried to go undercover into the, and whatever, you remember that when the two of them teamed up? No. When they
no, I do. You have some team ups on some of these.
Yeah.
Some of these, and obviously there'll probably be a lot more on there in the coming episodes and in the coming season. To the point, because this is where, especially now where we're getting deep into the war segment, and you mentioned it. Hey, look at the resistance and stuff like that. They're going to have to go into situations where they might have to go places where they have to gather information.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I thought it was somewhat successful in this. We saw a little bit more of Franklin. I think that he operated, like his character. Within his character, we got to see a little bit more of his character. We don't know much about Marcus. We see a lot about him, the way he acts. So I think it was successful in that respect. Bringing out more character, more of the personality of the characters, especially with Marcus. But part of that is because we've seen very little of him. So
okay.
I think there was very little successful about this episode at all. I think it was poorly written. The performances were meh. I'll wrap it up in my final thoughts, but very disappointed.
Really? Oh, okay. All right. I think is anything else anybody want to mention? Cam sucked all the air out of the room with those comments.
Well, I mean,
I let everybody talk as much as they wanted. You asked me.
Whoosh. That's what I heard. There's all the air. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Anybody? We'll start summing it up. Anybody got any last minute things they want to talk? I've hit all the points that I wanted to mention. I think. Yeah.
I think we've hit all the points that were even in the episode. I mean, I don't think
there's not that much to the episode. I mean,
no, I barely made a page out of it.
So you're telling me we're all good?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Then let's go to the ending off the episode. Jeff, what do you think of the episode?
Oh,
Final
definitely
thoughts.
not JMS's best work. I don't know if I don't know if this is the worst episode. I wouldn't say this is the worst episode. Probably the worst of the ones that JMS wrote, though. In my humble opinion. And usually his stuff is excellent. So there was clearly something off. Madman had kind of said what was going on with him, which that makes sense. Maybe he had the flu or something like that, and he was struggling to get through this to make deadlines, or something like that. As I mentioned before, I now have two least favorite characters in the show that are human. I don't think I have any aliens that are really favorable. But the Doctor still is not my favorite character. And Marcus is right down there with him in the down below. I don't like Marcus. I don't trust Marcus. I have no respect for Marcus.
Wow.
How many bad things do you want me to say about Marcus? I don't like him. I want to punch him in the face.
Okay, let me ask you, what reason do you have not to trust him? I agree with you. I think he's presented as being quite annoying and everything, but what have you been shown on this that would cause you to distrust him?
his brashness, his impulsiveness. You know, he's
So
lucky.
do you
He's lucky.
Do you mean trust in the sense that like you think he's a bad guy, or you don't trust him? Like you mentioned, reckless, for example. So
Yes,
meaning it's like, yeah, you can't trust this guy with responsibility because he's a wild card kind of thing.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that's more. I think I lean more that way. I don't think he's evil intentioned. I think he's definitely very chaotic. And he's very impulsive. The fact that stuff keeps on working out for him annoys me. That he gets away with the stuff he keeps doing. You know what I mean? That so far it's like all of these weird things that he does that shouldn't work somehow works, you know, and it's kind of like plot armor. Maybe he has plot armor. I don't know. It is just, and I don't like his general attitude and his,
sure,
you know what I mean. So, yeah. But that's kind of where I stand on him. You know, I haven't warmed up to him. Maybe I will. I don't know. It's not looking good at this point. You know, the Ivanova thing, it was kind of a little awkward. You know, just the whole. I get what, you know, Sheridan's trying to do by putting her into a position where she's, you know, he's trying to foster her development. I think this one she might have been just a little in over her head, but which she shouldn't be at this point. You know, it was kind of almost a regressiveness back to like the first time she was put in charge of something, you know, in the you know, season 2, like episode 1 or 2, something like that, you know. Sheridan's like, I'm going to put you in charge of this thing. Well, we're in season 3 now. we're like now the next year, right? So she should be a little more advanced. At any rate, overall, I mean, the premise of the episode, I guess, wasn't bad. It's disappointing to think that these aliens might not be able to help us in the future. That really does kind of irritate me, because I kind of got the feeling that yes, ultimately maybe they were good, maybe they were potential allies, and you guys are kind of depressing me to think that's not the case. Overall,
we all have our crosses to bear.
I'm struggling to give this a 6 out of 10. It's a struggle. Right. That's pushing it.
Okay, Madman, you're
yeah. I have to agree with Jeff also on this. I mean, this is not the greatest. I mean, there is important information to this episode. As I said, the road signs to the future, what's going to be happening, a shadow war, and everything like that. But nevertheless, we know JMS kind of flubbed up on this one, and safely to say there's only 2 other episodes this season that's in this low rating, and I do have to say that for the example, thank God. But this one, it just kind of certain sections kind of fell apart. Snob pointed it out, Cam pointed it out, Jeff pointed it out to that point. And yeah, I got to give it a 6 also, a 6 out of 10. I mean, one of my lowest ratings for an episode. Exogenesis isn't the best of episodes. It is an important part, but not the greatest execution for an episode.
All right. Looks like the other Brits are defending.
Oh no, they're rebelling. Dean is gonna hate me. Sorry,
against
man.
The Americans. Well,
defend your people.
Yeah, defend your people against the rebellious Americans. So, Dean will be on next week. And Dean, you can we can.
We're not going to fight, are we, Dean?
We can have a discussion about Marcus, and you can lay out why Jeff is completely wrong.
Extol the virtues of Marcus on me. Preach, preach to me, man.
We can look forward to that next week. Maybe we'll set aside a little time for you to set them straight. All right, Cam, what do you want to say about this episode?
Well, as I mentioned, it's very uncharacteristic for season 3. It's the weakest I think we've had so far, by far. It's it's a bit of a rehash too. Like, Madman mentioned that similar to the techno mages, it's different, I guess. Techno mages might be focusing on different kinds of knowledge, and these guys seem to be preserving more like cultural, social knowledge, maybe even individual knowledge of people and such. Which it's not a horrible idea, but it just it doesn't really seem to have much relevance. I think I don't dislike Marcus as a character. I like the Rangers as a concept a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I do too. But I do agree, that I don't know. I don't think Marcus was presented well in this episode. It was like, he's got certain personality traits, and this one like amped him up to a level that got a bit obnoxious.
Turn it up to 11.
I thought the end thing with the flowers and him kind of that was mildly amusing. Yeah. But again, his behavior throughout, it's like he's doing this intelligence gathering operation, and it just seems so loose and sloppy. It's like, he's supposed to be like this elite guy, elite member of this elite force, and he's just, like Jeff did point out accurately, he's just playing fast and loose and reckless. So I didn't like that portrayal. The Corwin, on the other hand, is one of my favorite supporting characters. I tend to like supporting characters. I thought that situation was mildly amusing. But again, Ivanova, I don't know. They it's sometimes she's portrayed well. She has developed since season 1, but this wasn't a strong one. Snob, you pointed out some of it's like, what is she doing? I mean, this is terrible. It's like, if you're trying to evaluate someone, it was so clunky and just again sloppy. Okay. And you know what? JMS can be forgiven. Sick. Right. Great. Not a great episode. Sorry, I'm rambling on about this. I thought, initially it's like, well, maybe this is a 7, and I'm like, well, maybe more like a 6.5. After listening to you guys talk about it, and I'm not blaming you, but I'm at like a 5.5 for this at this point. I can't even give it a 6. It was that's where I'm at.
I struggled to get to 6. I was thinking about giving it a 5.5, but
I'm being nice for 6.
There was a few redeeming qualities.
All right. Cam stole a lot of my points. Damn it. I'd say that this was a weak episode. I wrote down here a 5. I gave it a 5. Now, I like, it's a Franklin and Marcus episode. I like that they were getting a little bit more about, with Franklin and Marcus. I agree with Cam and everybody that Marcus is a little bit over the top. I don't mind his personality in general, but I think it was a little bit over the top of this episode. We talked about all the the negatives about yelling in the middle of a crowded area about how I'm pissed that my the conspiracies is not going the right and you need to help me. I would say Garibaldi. Some of the reasons for my 5 is Garibaldi not portrayed well. I think Ivanova is Cam mentioned everything that was mentioned. Now, however, I didn't actually rate this as too bad because Ivanova seems to be not very good at this sort of thing. I can't imagine how she would get to the rank she is and not be able to interview a junior officer. But it's kind of how she's portrayed. So I didn't give as much of a minus to that because she's done this before. But I am surprised. And of course, I think Duncan did a good job. The actor playing them, I was like, as soon as I saw him, I was like, hey, wow, this is great. But to be honest, when I first saw this episode and I saw aliens going into people's backs and stuff, I had a bit of a bad feeling that it wouldn't be a great episode. And that's I don't know why I felt that way, but that kind of just jumped in my mind right off the bat when I saw it. I'm like, this might not be that great. This might be a weak episode. So week 5. I think this is the worst episode so far in the season. Now, the other episodes have been great. So we don't, this is not good. And I don't think this is up to the level that we want to see in
season 3. Yeah.
Oh, the other good thing is the next 2 episodes, the 2 episodes that are coming, not the next 2 episodes, the 2 episodes that are coming there and are about in the same range as this are back to back, so we'll be able to get rid of that real quick on that.
And I will say, I mean, my expectations for season 3 have been brought up, and I have looked at the IMDb, and I did a while ago, and I did notice that episode 10 and episode 22 from this season are the two highest rated of the entire series. So, I think we're, arguably in the best season of the entire show. I don't know. I haven't seen the rest, but yeah. So I maybe I'm being, you guys are giving it 5.5, 6. Maybe I'm being a little harsh, but come on. I expect a certain level of something
at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, I mean, it's interesting that Madman mentioned that JMS was sick in the writing of this. So, maybe, okay, good. Maybe that writes it, we can write it off for that reason. But,
so you gave it a 5?
I'm still sticking with my number.
5?
Still sticking with my number. We expect more. 5.
Yeah. So, yeah,
all right.
5.5, basically. That's what we're getting. Yeah.
All right. Let's go to, we're going to do our trivia questions for next week. Okay. Oh, before I do that, inverse opinion. This episode is a good example of good concept executed poorly. I generally agree with that.
Yeah.
I think it's, reasonably good concepts. I don't know if they're the greatest concepts, but reasonably good,
Sure.
Fit the science fiction tropes. And they're not executed very well. There's too many, like I said, Garibaldi not acted properly, some weird stuff that just doesn't quite make sense. And I think they could have polished it off and fixed it if they, had the time and the inclination.
Yeah.
Time or inclination to do it.
Yeah.
Sometimes, TV, you don't have much time, but yeah. Okay. Plus, we didn't see, no Londo.
Londo was not in this episode, so
Jakar's in jail. Jakar's in jail. So, but anyway, all right. Let's go to let's do our trivia for next week. Our trivia questions for season. Sorry, that should say episode 7, not episode 6. Excuse me. Which Shakespeare played as Marcus, quote, to Duncan? Oh, that might be hard to get. What does Corwin bring Ivanova on the date? What is the name of the race of parasites? Who is referred to in this quote? I sense in her a key as yet unturned. Oh, we kind of mentioned that. What is the brand model name Marcus gives to his pike in an attempt to trick his captors? That might be a little bit tough. You might have to go back and read that one to get that one. But yeah. All right. Okay, so real quick, we have, we're going to give Madman a quick, he's going to go over very, very generally, no spoilers, about what the next couple episodes are we going to be looking at. 60 seconds.
Buckle up, lurkers. Dean's coming on a great episode next week. Messages from Earth. But the next several episodes here, we begin, the other half of the arc on this. It is, 2 of the episodes in here are the highest rated episodes for this season onto there, which is the name of this season, Point of No Return, and Severed Dreams. We're getting a lot to this point. A lot of great special guests on here. Majel Barrett, Michael York. We're going to be seeing a lot more information drop, a lot more action, a lot more information pointing to this point. But this also separates it into 2 levels. Like I said, we got 2 things going on here. We have the Shadow War and what's going on Earth. So we're going to get one concentration part of this before the major 2-parter that's coming down the line, which is some of the best of what GMS has written for Babylon 5. And then, of course, the finale is just around the corner to that point. What is going to happen on this series, is yet to come. And this is the best of the best, even though there's 2 bad episodes in between, but still we're getting the best of the best from here on.
Okay. So the next episode, Messages from Earth, episode 8, episode 9, Point of No Return, and episode 10, Severed Dreams. And Severed Dreams is the highest rated one. I believe it's higher rated than episode 22 on IMDb. I think by a hair, but yeah. So tune in. We're going to wild ride for the next at least 3 episodes. It should be pretty good. Yeah, hopefully everyone will turn into that. Oh, Dean says the next 3 episodes are amazing, which is why Dean is our guest for all 3 of those.
Yes, he is.
He jumped in and grabbed those 3. screw the rest of you guys. I'm taking those. So tune in next week, in the next 3 weeks, for some hopefully some pretty good stuff. Anything? What's going on your channel, Jeff?
Well, Bad News Bards is coming up on Sunday night at 9 p.m. And let's see here who the guest is going to be. Oh, let's see. We've got Blackwall. So it's going to be on here talking about his RPG system. Coming up later on this month, speaking of Dean's going to be on with us, I believe, on the 22nd. So looking forward to speaking to him and seeing what he's been up to in the workshop there. Great. So that'll be going on again Sunday at 9 o'clock Eastern time. And we usually run about 90 minutes or so. Last week we got crashed by Culture Casino in the last half hour. So that was fun. And hopefully Flint Fireforge, Paul, he's hopefully he's okay with Culture crashing the party. But Flint was great. I've talked to him for a long time, and he's got a lot of zines going on. So check out that episode if you didn't already. Monday, I'm going to be running a Shadow Dark game. I'm going to be running by Tom Wilson, the Crumbling Keep of Kashmir. So that's going to be fun. That'll be just on my channel. Of course, the Bad News Bards shows on both Tennessee Tabletop Tavern and Sci-Fi from ETV. But the game stream is only going to be on mine, and it'll be on the Erudite DMs, and I think it'll be on Better with Bacon's as well. Those are the three of us that usually stream it. So check those out, and we'll look forward to next Wednesday.
All right, Madman.
Well, Madman with the show, we got a couple of videos coming next week. We're still working on them, so there's a lot that's been going on. Because there's a lot of news out there that's in the sci-fi, fantasy, all and the streaming world. So we're going to be getting that together all the way. In fact, right now, tonight, after this, I'm going to be catching episode 5 of Star Trek Academy, which we'll be talking about next Tuesday on Madman Cafe, which we've moved to Tuesdays now, 3 p.m. The Search for Cisco.
No. How dare they? They keep their
you are the Cisco.
Sam is going to solve the greatest mystery of the Alpha Quadrant. What happened to Cisco? How bad
He's
could
in
it be
the
at this
thing
point?
with the prophets. Come on.
Yeah. I know. You just can't.
He's in the wormhole with the prophets. What the hell?
Yeah, what the hell? So, yeah, we're getting that next week. How crazy that's going to be. I'm going to watch that tonight on to there. Also, just to let you know, you guys know about the Taco Thursday. Taco Thursday isn't coming back, really. We're going to be doing shorts on them because we are in the middle of rebranding out Taco Thursday. It will be when we get to March, it's going to be a whole new, brand new show with its own name on a date on there. We'll be doing some live feeds on that as well. Hopefully, we'll be able to bring some guests on. So watch for that. We are still tailoring it. The graphics look great that we've been doing on this, so we're still tweaking on some of that. And we're doing our best to get it up and going.
All right, Cam, is there anything you want to mention?
Well, I am forced into this other show on Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern called Top Lofty Lounge, and I heard a rumor.
Unbreakable Contract.
I heard a rumor that we might be talking about cartoons.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mm-hmm. And of course, Jeff does graciously invite me to be his guest host on Tennessee Tabletop. I'm sorry.
He's gracious
on Bad News Bards on the Tennessee Tabletop channel as well as Sci-Fi for me.
Well, there's an opening for you on Madman Cafe anytime you want to come.
Yes, Madman, you are also very gracious in inviting me, and we had talked about a few topics that we might be have a good match for.
Yep.
So yes, looking forward to that.
force Cam to watch Starfleet Academy, and
that I won't do. I have.
No, he won't do. No, we're looking toward some anime.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so this Sunday show, apparently, I guess we are going with the cartoon thing because Cam has
or not
put it out there. It'll be something though. It'll be something. Yeah. Okay. Who's is this an ad for somebody? But Alabama John says he wants to talk to you right now. All right. I don't know who Alabama John is. Yeah. All right. Maybe you can check him out. I guess. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. So, and of course, next week we'll be looking. Dean will be on the show. Messages from Earth. It's supposed to be a good episode, and I did watch a little bit of it. It seemed pretty exciting. There's a lot of going on shadow stuff. I think I watched the first little bit. There was some, yeah. So I'm curious to watch the rest of that. I can now that this show is over. So yeah, that should be good. And we'll be doing something on Sunday. Again, if you have any ideas for shows, things you want us to do for this show or the other for the Top Lofty Lounge, hey, drop us a line on Discord or on in the.
You didn't create a QR code for it yet, did you?
No. Drop us a line on Discord. Drop us a line on in the chat or of this, in the comments of this show, anything like that. We appreciate it. We like to hear from our viewers. We're big on audience participation here. So yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I guess that's about it. And hopefully we'll see you next week, everybody. Good night. Have a good night.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Don't let the Exogenesis bugs get you.
You.
Good evening. Ambassador Rolando Molari here from Babylon 5. Please join me on the Babylon 5 retrospective on Science Fiction Snob, Wednesdays at 10 p.m. Central. Yes? Have I ever told you you're very cute for a Mambari?